Who have you harmed, and what have you done about it? See, that is a question that brings about light to an individual's character. And character, love, freedom, truth, intelligence, all of these things are synonymous with one another. These things bypass the bodily restrictions that many human beings since the beginning of time have been trapped in. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, these are restrictive to the body. But character, love, and so on, intelligence, real intelligence, not being smart, true intelligence, these things take us outside of ourselves, and that is what a human being is. You look around the world, there are very, very few. You look around the world, there are illusions of human beings. Not just by media, but by the illusions we give ourselves to fulfill our own inadequacies that are coming from feelings. I want to be better is a want. It often comes from you not actually being so. But that feeling itself is restrictive to you. See, when you have that feeling or thought of inadequacy, I'll focus on the feeling. You run along with it. You run along with that feeling in the sense, I do not feel good, so I must revert back to my restrictive function, to being in my body, and do not do whatever I could have done. And what you could have done is absolutely new. It has never happened before. But that feeling is a familiarity that has existed with you since life itself has existed. I'm not talking life on just human beings, I'm talking life as life itself. From the very atom, or not atom, cell, single cell organism, to the fungi and whatnot. But that's besides the point, right? You have a feeling, and you don't want that feeling. So, you try to rid of the feeling by not wanting to feel, but that is still a want, and is coming from fear. And I can go on to thoughts and sensations, but that is separate, and I would love to. So why do I share all of these things, or the few that I have? Because we are so heavily trapped within ourselves, and we don't know what anything besides that looks like. We think we know, we feel we know, but the thoughts and the feelings are not the fact, the truth, the freeness, the freedom, the character, infinity. That's what it is. A vast, vast, vast reserve. That's what you are. The whole of motion, all of existence, that's what you are. But this body encapsulates it because it's so much more in charge, in command, in reliance, in comfort, in familiarity, character, love, intelligence. Again, all these things take you out of your body and make you so that you become it. The whole of motion, the new, the truth itself. That's not to say the feelings magically vanish, but you become so aware that those feelings and thoughts now linger, but you are aware that is only bodily function. Lust, bodily function. Hurting yourself, being hurt, it comes from memory, bodily function. Comes from the past, which is memory and feeling and sensation. These are past. So, who have you harmed? And what have you done about it? We are bound to harm one another. That is our state of nature. We are violent. That is our state of nature. Someone who has lived their life of zero awareness or grown into that, this can take a lifetime, or it can take just now. Someone who has done zero of that on themselves, they will eventually harm and violence. See, I can get into the whole thought and feelings are a harm itself, but that's separate. So back to the question that shows you who the other truly is, or to show you who you are. Who have you harmed, and what did you do about it? Did you shell up? Did you run back into your thoughts and say, okay, I'll do this, anything but confronting the harm that was done, which is yourself first. And if someone else was involved, then seeing so deeply yourself, these feelings are trying to protect me, these thoughts are trying to protect me. I'm just being selfish. But when you really observe and understand yourself, you are seeing all these emotions that try to protect you, and these thoughts that try to protect you for preservation. And you bypass that. Wait, I heard that person. I'm going to step outside of myself and make amends with them for their sake. That does not mean you expect something. That newness is freeness. That's you. Do you understand? That's you. Going past your emotions, not being trapped by going past your emotions with emotions, but more so as them, as the awareness of them. And if you have harmed yourself, can that harm be undone? The harm itself what is done, but what you do after, that is truth, which is you. Or do you bury yourself in it? Or you lie to yourself and say, well, if it's the other person that's hurt, I don't want to live like this. I'm going to continue living my life, and I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to work on myself. I deserve the best. That's the trap. That's running away from the truth. You will care as deeply about the life around you, even if it's a stranger's or a child that is not your own, as deeply as you care of the life that is you. So what is care? Is it the reality? Or is it the truth? And which one will you preserve? Because to be with truth, to be with love, to be character, to have character and be that defies all of nature. It goes against it. So of course it's difficult because you are going against all of life itself. That is self-love, synonymous with intelligence, courage. Not having fear, not having pain, but going past in spite of it. Not just with yourself, but in relation to another, to your wife, to your spouse, to your fiance. When you go past and outside yourself, that is character. And again, truth, so on, love, and so on, so on. It does not matter what word you say to yourself you are. Muslim, Christian, gay, lesbian, whatever. These are all meaningless words. They are words. What is it that you embody? And that is the universe in motion. Very vast, very frightening because it's unknown. But that is ironically character and love and so on. Vast, pushing past, not by force but by awareness, by choice. How cheaply are you going to use the word love? You're cheap in love by how you behave with people outside. Granted, right? I'm aware people are assholes, and for more often than not, they can be extremely psychologically regressed. But that in itself would be a judgment. And then that is ego building up, and then that is attempting to play God, saying, I know. And then you become back to being trapped in your knowledge and memory of you. So, in spite of the pains, the harms. The world hates you, everyone around you hates you, doesn't agree with you. Do you bend into survival and preservation and fear? Or when all is wrong, you show up as you, even if it means death? Who are you? Are you the fire that continues to burn all of humanity in the subtle violence, but we mask it as we are living our lives, we should just focus on ourselves? Or are you just going to blindly accept my words? Or blindly accept another's? Are we not blinded by ourselves? It is the job, it is the duty of our body to blind ourselves to the truth, which is so timeless and without thought, without feeling. It's outside of us, and we're it. Only if we become it by going past ourselves. So, whom have you harmed, and what will you do about it? Shell up, hide away, run away, lie to yourself, run in circles, shift responsibility, prolong the feeling of hurt, prolong the feeling of pain, prolong memories, become neurotic, do another activity to run away from it. That's not to say become a vegetable and constantly question everything you do, but sit, understand yourself, and understand who is hurt and what will I do of it, and who is the I, and who is asking who is hurt. And I'll go into it. This transformative, beautifully transformative. You are. So find out and become character, become life itself, aware of itself. And I need breakfast.